What's happening, y'all? Today's topic is, what does it mean if your case is actively being reviewed? Okay, what does that mean? You might think that the government, USCIS, is actually reviewing a case, and we sure hope so. And we actually did not believe that they were doing that in the past, okay, before 2023. But I certainly have changed my mind on this, okay? And here's why. Folks, because the 2023 trend with USCIS, now this is if the scenario if it is adjustment of status in a marriage-based case, okay, that they actually are reviewing a case. I know it's crazy, and we'll go to details very soon. Friends, welcome to Green Card Guys TV. I'm your host, John Ting, and here at Ting Law Group, we practice immigration law, helping you solve your immigration problem, or even trying to help you prevent it from happening in the first place. Okay, folks, so we do offer free 15-minute preliminary discussion. The way to get access to that is not automatic, okay? No one's entitled to our time, to be honest, because our time is very, very limited, as you can imagine, just based on pandemic. I feel like at least a lot of companies in America are probably working even harder. I don't know what it is about the post-pandemic now, but it's, technology, it makes it seem like we're always available. But with all the things about mental health and all that, we try to be mindful of that. So we don't want to waste your time. If we believe you're qualified, our CARES team, who you will speak with, they're not attorneys, by the way, so that's a disclaimer. But when you speak with them, they'll see if you can qualify for free 15 minutes. Because sometimes when you're not, you might have a situation, might have a question where we could just give you a free guide. We'll email it to you, email you a link, and that likely has solved some people's questions. And for others, it might not, right? So if it doesn't, you're welcome to call back and let us know, if the legal issue is still the same or not. But I hate to say it, but it's not an automatic free 15 minutes consultation mini strategy session at no cost to you. Okay, it's not automatic. You have to qualify for it. So the best way to do that, folks, give us a call right up here. Okay, that's our number on Facebook and YouTube. And that's our a link that you can answer a few questions, and it'll get you rolling to the next step. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so our CARES team, they're not attorneys. They can't give legal advice. You cannot depend on that information. We call it this information. If you want legal advice, of course, you have to schedule for a consultation. And if you want more than 15 minutes, we do offer 30 minutes at least. And it's either $149 with our Premier Associates or $199 with me. I really don't like charging that amount. I just don't like charging anything, to be honest. But that's why we have free 15 minutes in general. But my team has told me that I do a lot of things for the law firm. So I have very, very limited time. Okay, so but the other way is that you can, if you're shy, it's okay. You can post a question in the comment section, and of course, if we believe it's just way too confidential, then we'll ask you to call in. All right, but let's see here. So let's get back to the topic of the day. What does it mean if my case is being actively reviewed? Okay, again, before 2023. It didn't really mean much. It just kind of, I'll just go to the next step. But it didn't mean, okay, next month your case will receive a decision or an interview. But now, the 2023 trend with USCIS, if this is an adjustment of status case with, for example, based on marriage to a U.S. citizen, our average processing time right now from filing to getting a decision without an interview is on average 3 months right now. 3 months. It's insane, literally insane. It's never been like this. If it was maybe with President George W. Bush, but I highly doubt that. Okay. I highly doubt that. So, but I credit our team in our process with a proven checklist so that we can first of all file a case in a timely manner. Now, the timely manner, we do offer usually 3 different service plans. Okay, you can call it like a membership plan, but if it's a max plan, we file your case in 30 days. If it's a pro plan, 60 days, or if you need a little bit more time, then to gather evidence, then we say 90 days. But and even if you sign up, for example, on a light plan for 90 days, that doesn't mean we'll hold your case until the 90th day to file it. It's just more so like if it's going to take you more time and you don't need as many services than like pro or max plan, that's okay. We offer that, but we're not going to hold your file if you gave us everything. Okay. Like if it's ready by the 60th day, but you signed up for 90, we're going to file it by the 60th day. All right. So that kind of give you an idea. But some people need more time because maybe need to get a bank account, shared bank account, for example. Some people have difficulties. Sometimes their bank give them a hard time if the other person doesn't have, valid identification at the time. Which, if you have questions about like which bank might be better, you got to send us a DM because I don't want it to seem like we're promoting or being sponsored by a bank. So anyways, that kind of give you an idea. Let's see here. What else can I share with y'all? Y'all a little shy today. I know we're just getting started. But yeah, in general about case updates, people ask, I've gone on the USCIS.gov website. Is the status accurate? Or what am I going to expect after this? We can tell you more precisely in 2023 what's going to happen than years past. But, in general, if they say like, your case is actively being reviewed, that's a bit too broad. But, another contrast example is, let's say they received your request for evidence package. For us, lately, especially the past, it's May now, the past 5 months at least, if they ask for RFE, typically, most time it's for the medical exam, okay? And they've approved it when they received the file. I've tracked the last few, okay? Our team has. USCIS has approved the case the same day or the next day, which is pretty amazing, okay? But when it comes down to, of course, like more like not the medical exam results, but marriage evidence, that will take them more time inherently because it's more documents to review, all right? So that kind of give you an idea. But yeah, years past, it would not be that quick. But these days, 2023, is because they're waiving interviews, okay? But despite what I say, I've shared with that, and other attorneys are talking about waiving interviews, it's not going to happen for everyone. Inherently, it's not going to happen for everyone. The U.S. government, believe it or not, if you didn't know this already, they discriminate cases. And then when they discriminate cases, it may appear they're discriminating people. I don't want to call it based on color, but I can say they do have certain red flags based on the country of nationality. Okay, because when people have experience with certain cases, I mean, not just people, but like client, I mean, the interviewing officer reviewing or just now it's not really interviewing officer usually, but the officer reviewing your case, they see these trends from people from certain countries, and I really don't want to call out a certain country like this, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it because we get a lot of calls from people from Nigeria. Okay, so Nigerians, y'all getting maybe bad advice from your uncle or auntie, yeah, or even maybe I really don't want to call it bad lawyers, but if you start to get a feeling like your lawyer could be bad, not so good, yeah, you might want to talk to another one, okay? Just to get at least a second, third, fifth opinion. We law firms, at least for us, we really try our best. I know a lot of great lawyers, but even when this is just me being brutally honest, okay, vulnerable here, is that we really try our best. We have we use, at least our law firm, we use technology to make things faster. So we can file cases sooner, get up to speed with clients, update clients more timely. I think we do a pretty good job, but sometimes we might miss the boat, okay? I'm not saying that we make legal mistakes. Fortunately, no. But there can be times we might be a little bit slower to update a client, but we really have been doing pretty good, like updating clients within the hour, okay? And funny thing is that usually clients don't answer the phone or they don't reply to emails. And then when they, so anyways, so I just feel like sometimes when we're so on top of it, then we don't get reciprocal responses, which is okay. I mean, y'all at work, I get it. But anyways, not anyone's perfect, but we certainly try our best. And so you're welcome to check out our over 200 5-star reviews on Google. We have 2 different locations, one in Dallas and in Houston right now. So check those out. You got to make sure that the attorney you're watching a live show for advice, information at no cost to you, even though it's free. You want to make sure that we're legit, okay? That we're a credible source. And every time at least on YouTube and Facebook, I can share my screen, I always want to share it so that you know the source that I get the information from. And immigration agencies in America, it's not always black and white, so I don't always have the source, but whenever I can find it, especially if it's like Congress, a proposed bill, a proposed law, that I like to share the information. All right, folks, I do see some questions on here. NS, you're welcome. Happy to share my time. You applied for marriage green card in March. Okay, so about 2 months ago, got the biometrics, got an RFE for medical, sent it back to NBC. Okay, wonderful. Oh, they received that a month ago, and no update still, no EAD yet. What can you expect? So that's, that sounds a little much different than our experience. I think I said this, but when we sent the medical back, it got approved like the same day or next day. The thing is, sometimes you would send it to NBC. So because your case, and I'm assuming you mailed it back to the address that it listed in the RFE. So it's a good thing you got the RFE, the actual notice in the mail, because the other scenarios when people we receive the email directly from the field office, it might not even be the field office that you live at, because they're trying to manage your workload, right? Because, for example, here in Texas, we have Brownsville. We receive emails from Brownsville, and some of us are like, we don't have clients in Brownsville, but it's because inherently you might have less applicants being sent to Brownsville in general for interview. So folks over there have more time. I gotta fix my glasses. Okay, so, but what to expect for you? I mean, I probably would not expect the EAD, even though you filed it, the application 765, which could be okay, because during pandemic, we were all freaking out about not having the EAD on time, but you might get that. We've had clients get approved for the green card resident status before the EAD. So hopefully you get that soon. Okay. Just keep tracking it, at least every week or so. But NS, you do want to see, typically when they do receive the package, they will update USCIS website for case status saying that they received your response. Okay. So check that out. Hopefully it does say that. And I know you have other comments. I'll get to that soon. Is it safe to travel? Okay, I got another question here from this gentleman. Is it safe to travel back to home country after receiving the green card based on marriage? You had asylum and it's dismissed after receiving the green card. So typically, in general, anytime we hear about asylum and you've fled your country of nationality, the U.S. government would deny your asylum application if they know you went back to your home country. But because you got your green card through marriage, it doesn't matter anymore, right? You would have to file a letter saying you withdraw your asylum case. Um, so hopefully, it's assuming it's all safe for you back in your country. Then yes, in general, you can travel back to your country of nationality. But of course, if you still have fear, then that's your decision. Either way, it's your decision. But if of course, you're asking about legal consequences, it would only be a consequence if you got your green card through asylum, but you didn't. You got their merit, so you should be good to go on that. Okay. By the way, quick tip here about traveling back to your home country, even with a green card. If you think There's a hot tip, folks, because a lot of people call us in this situation where they're already outside America for 6 months or more. Yeah, it's going to be difficult. You need to apply for a reentry permit. It's the same form as the AP Advanced Parole. It's the 131. It's valid for 2 years. It's basically telling the customs officer when you return at the airport that you did not intend to abandon your status. Okay, so check that out. NS, let's see. You got some follow-up questions here. Information. Okay, I saw that one. Okay, yeah, send it back. You send it back to the same address that you got the RFE from, which is NBC. Yeah, we did that before as well. Yeah, we had to send it back to mix different addresses depending on the person or the case. Okay, you're welcome. They updated portal saying RFE received. Okay, wonderful. So that was a month ago, but nothing's changed since then. They have 6 days to respond generally, right? I don't think so. Not in that. The 60-day mark that's more for like more like traditional, I guess you could say. But that's not a law that they have to respond or tell you something 60 days after RFE. Now your next comment. So would I put a service request after 6 days with no update? You could try on the USCIS.gov website, go to tools and resources and submit inquiry, but you're likely not going to be allowed to do that. And even if you call in, they might not let you do that. Okay. It's really because they're trying to expedite these cases in their own way. So I'm not saying you don't try, because look, I mean, this is just what they tell us on the website and what we've tried based on our case experience. But you'll see on the case inquiry, when you try to submit inquiry, that you put in your receipt date. At least when you go to the processing timetable for case processing times, you have to submit an inquiry date. And it tell you, no, you have to wait X amount of time, or you have to wait, like, let's say you said you filed in March. So depending where you're at, just making up a city, but let's say New York City or Brooklyn, they could say wait 18 months. They won't say 18 months, but the date 18 months from the receipt date. So, which is kind of surprising. They're a little bit accurate in that sense, but so it's ridiculous. But on the case inquiry, submit inquiry, I don't recall if they'll actually stop you, but they might not update you. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I know it's strange to say that. It's ridiculous, but y'all got to think about this, that there's so many applicants, right? And they're getting better at the systems, fortunately. I know that with President Trump, I think you all know this, but with President Trump, they tried to reduce every single shred of communication method. So even though President Biden has not reinstated all of them, they're actually trying to make it more efficient. So even though President Trump got rid of the InfoPass appointments and President Biden basically continued with that path, they do have other ways in certain situations where you don't have to go to the field office. Okay. In fact, I just think it's a waste of time. But they have a lot of the concerns that attorneys had before about still needing to go InfoPass seem to have been resolved. And so I'll probably record a video about that separately. You're welcome. Happy to share. Okay. And so I don't know, NS, hopefully I answered your question. I'm just trying to share a realistic situation. Not saying that you don't try. You certainly can try, but if you get frustrated, at least I feel better that I share with you why that's what's going on. So again, I don't know if their system will stop you from submitting inquiry. But I definitely know when you call in, they'll stop you. Okay, Angela, you received a courtesy letter by email to send your medical to local field office. No response from USCIS. Going 1 month now. Okay. Similar to NS, check your USCIS case status online to see if they update it to say they at least received it. I mean, I'm assuming you at least have a tracking number and all that, but at least with their internal system that hopefully they did acknowledge that they received it. That's interesting, folks, because I'm sure other people who don't have attorneys, I don't want to assume that Angela and NS don't have attorneys, but there seems to be some kind of intangible benefit, at least, that having an attorney will help, at least for streamlining things, getting things done more timely, especially for some folks who need a little bit nudging to get things done. So, but yeah, that's interesting because our experiences so far with that is that they've been approved the same day or the next day, which is, again, I think that's pretty wild. But let's see, NS, what did you say? They updated the case status to say RFE received, and that was a month ago. Okay, yeah. I thought you said that, yeah. I was wondering about Angela too, if it said that online as well. Okay, let's see. Any questions on Instagram? Okay, folks on Insta, you guys are a little bit shy today. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything here. But hopefully y'all get approved very soon, okay? I hope so. Then y'all can travel. You can save up money in the meantime, travel, get things done. But for folks who are stuck, okay, your cases, I wouldn't really consider that stuck because there's some cases that people filed like 2021 or before that and still stuck, okay? And maybe haven't even received this courtesy email or RFE letter in the mail. It's very unfortunate, okay? It's very, very unfortunate. It's kind of strange that they're, I mean, I'm happy for NS and Angela, for example, but it does seem it's kind of like similar to the asylum policy that President Trump did last in, first out. So the most recent case was filed. It's going to get scheduled for interview. So it seems kind of similar in this sense. So for all those folks who are still suffering delays, whether you're waiting for your decision on 485 application or your decision on asylum application or just waiting for the interview for asylum, give us a call. Don't be shy. We'll let you know straight up if we think it's still too early to file a lawsuit. But hey, I hope that USCIS gets to your case sooner than later. But look, if you've been waiting a long time, it could be 2 years, 4 years. We get a lot of calls about people waiting that long. I know. NS and Angela, you might be thinking, that's nuts. Is that really going on? It is, unfortunately. We do file a lawsuit against the government to speed up the case, to get it to the next step. Many times, okay? Like many times per week. Every single week we file many cases related to this. So it's very unfortunate. But hey, some people really have to get their work permit, the green card, because look, that can delay you not only from becoming a U.S. citizen, right? Because you have to be a resident before you become a U.S. citizen, apply for that. But travel with your family, maybe travel for work conferences, maybe getting a more stable job, higher paying job, and especially sponsoring your other family members, okay? I like to call it helping your family tree, but conservatives will use a different phrase that I'm not going to share on here. So anyways, it starts with the letter C. Let's see, NS, you said, do I think the GC could be approved soon? Even if it's been a month since RFE was received, guess just got to keep an eye on the status. Yeah, I'll just keep an eye, maybe every week, because you never know. I know I don't want we wouldn't want clients to freak out. We check almost at least every month for clients, but I don't want to create a situation for y'all to freak out or anything. But whether or not you moved, sometimes we have heard that sometimes USCIS will say online that they mailed the notice, but you didn't receive it. So if you live like an apartment or a home where sometimes your mailbox is a little I don't want to call sketchy, but you just don't receive all the mail for some reason, or maybe someone else has access to your mailbox, yeah, you might want to be careful of that, okay? But the other thing is that if you do move, you got to do two things, okay? You got to update online, USCIS.gov, like literally the same day or before you actually move, okay? Don't wait on it. Now, I'm not saying like submit your change of address like 1 month before, but look, if you have a move date like this week, don't wait until the day you move or after, because it takes time. It's a slow moving process, like snail's pace with USCIS. Maybe they're a little faster these days, but I remember when our law firm submitted a change of address before, maybe not this year necessarily, but a case experience before. Even though we submitted before the decision date on the notice, they mailed the card to the old address. So the second thing you can do to prevent that from happening is submit a change of address, a forwarding address with the USPS, okay, the Postal Service. All right, so hopefully that helps. Yo, I think I got this bot on my YouTube channel. I don't know, but there's like one or two people referencing another lawyer that I think is great also, but they keep saying I love that person loves that attorney. So that's a little bit strange. Anyways, Anu, okay, I can answer a couple questions. I got to head to a meeting. Anu, you say your 765V status for U visa change from biometrics to initial review after doing inquiry. Okay, that's good. It changed from biometrics fingerprints to take an initial review and notice returned after doing inquiry for U visa. Okay. You're not sure what's in the notice RFE or inquiry update or approval. Well, hopefully it is approval, okay, for your 765V. For y'all that don't know, that is a work permit application for those who've been abused by someone who has non-immigrant visa, which most common one is H-1B. Hopefully you get approved for that. Some animation, okay. Hello there. You filed your reopening and terminating old removal order. You are an asylee through your wife. Can you file for green card while BIA is pending? I see what you're saying here. Yes, you can file 45. So it sounds like you're saying your wife was approved for asylum and you're part of her case as a spouse derivative. So you might need to file the I-730, okay? But yes, you can also file the actually, you might not need to file the I-730 if you're already part of the application from the 589 to begin with. But yes, you can file for residency. It's not going to be perfect because it's all about jurisdiction. I think it sounds like you're familiar with this. Okay, great. Your I-730 is approved. Wonderful. Good to hear that. But your removal order, sounds like you're trying to, I wonder what's pending with BIA. Motion to reopen, or you're trying to just motion to dismiss. So what makes the motion to, I'm guessing, terminate for you stronger is if you have the receipt notice for your 485. So I know it's going to be strange. If you file that, don't complain at me, but USCIS might administratively close your case, okay, with USCIS. But the key thing here is that, especially if your motion to terminate has been pending a long time, I would think that whoever's reviewing this on the government side would appreciate to see that there's a receipt notice, okay, for the 485. Now, motion reopen and terminate. So what we call is motion reopen. It's like doing several things at once. Motion to reopen. Motion reopen, vacate order, and terminate or dismiss. It's basically doing three things at minimum at once, because they can't vacate the order if it's closed or order removed. So I know it's weird, but I gotta do one step at a time there. Looks like you know that already. Okay, you sent those. Okay, wonderful. Well, and people normally ask like, okay, well, how soon will they get back to me? Yeah, they're slow. Okay, if you have a removal order, they're very slow. And most jurisdictions don't actually want to make a decision until the Supreme Court issues a decision, which we expect to be next month. Okay. Many Department of Homeland Security attorneys won't make a decision on any case involving removal order, which is very unfortunate because they're letting conservative states slow people down. I really don't think they need to be waiting on this. Yeah, Angela, you say you checked the case status. No response yet. Okay. Maybe 6 to 7 months, but yeah, I mean, hopefully you'll get the information soon, especially with the Supreme Court expected to issue the decision in mid-June. Supreme Court of the United States usually issues decisions in June. Okay, and unless it's an emergency case or something for Donald Trump about his tax returns, but something ridiculous like that. So, anyways, before I lose my voice completely, let's see here. Oh, yeah. You wait for 34 months. Yeah, so I'm glad you filed your 485 already. I'm glad to know that because you waited a long time. We've actually filed lawsuits because of delay on the I-730s. I think the most recent one. Yeah, well, actually, let me check. Actually, let me see if I can remember. If there's processing times on an I-730, there should be. Okay. Yep. Yeah, but we filed lawsuits on this one, and it's ridiculous. Now it says 13 months for Nebraska Service Center. Texas Service Center says 22 and a half months. But y'all, it's ridiculous. They're forcing people to wait. That should not be necessary to wait this long. This is one of those case types that it really should just be rubber stamp. Why are they delaying people? It shouldn't take more than a month, in my opinion. It really shouldn't, because it's not like it's going to a work permit or something necessarily. Okay, but for folks that don't know about I-730, this is an application that can add a family member, spouse, or children to your asylum application, and you need to do that before you file the 485. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that you filed the mandamus lawsuit and they called you interview within 30 days. Yep, happy to hear that. I'm glad you watched someone's video to realize that. Oh goodness, I'm sorry to hear that. You tried to. Thank you so much for being vulnerable to share your experience. Some animation. This person is sharing that they've been trying to fix their immigration status for 16 years. Their attorney screwed up the case in 2007. Yeah, sorry to hear that. And that's why I use technology to prevent gaps in communication, to prevent missing deadlines, because it sounds like that could be similar to what you experienced. Maybe your attorney in 2007 missed a deadline. I hear that that's one of the most common complaints I receive about other attorneys. So anyway, that kind of gives you an idea how we work in our law firm. Again, if you're just tuning in for the first time, we do offer free 15-minute preliminary discussion, like a mini strategy session. Give us a call right up there on YouTube and Facebook, or you can fill out that, go to that website, freevisaquiz.com, to answer for some questions. We do have a website called greencardguys.com, where you can find out more about the services we offer and how to get in contact with us, okay? And we do have free guides that contains answers to common questions with an estimated step-by-step. So you can go scroll all the way down on our website, greencardguys.com, to access those free guides. So if you're looking at YouTube and Facebook, you can see that right there. We have several different free guides. And the most common one is about, you guessed it, suing for status, about the solution being the mandamus lawsuits. Okay, folks. So thank you so much. I'll be on tomorrow, Friday. Have a great day. Take care now.